back to video. No, I got it. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss out on a new video. Today I'm going to be reviewing soccer shoes. Kids soccer shoes. Let me guess, you go on YouTube and you look up reviewing of soccer shoes and you just see old adult shoes. Well, now I'm gonna be doing kids soccer shoes. Okay, so obviously my name is Katie and I have been playing soccer for 8 years, so I've been playing since I was 3. Okay, so you can clearly tell that I go to WSA. If you guys don't know what it stands for West Side Alliance Girls Academy because I'm GA. And I don't know if you guys want to know this, but this Monday, Tuesday, which is today's Saturday, I'm going to be going to OSU soccer camp. So, what brand I've been wearing exclusively is Adidas. So my first, well, these aren't my first, but so my basically oldest ones are Adidas Nemesis messy color. So this one's the same thing, just different messy colors.
And why did we switch off?
We switched off from these because they were getting too tight. But here's the bottom parts.
So pro tip,
About narrow.
If you have
So,
narrow feet.
so if you have wide feet, you might not want to wear Adidas, or you might have to go up a size. 2019 and 2018 ones, I wore Predators. These are the cleat parts, and this is what they look like. I really like them because they are not laceless, or I mean they are laceless, and I really like it because when you put your shoe in, when you put your foot in, it basically models to your actual feet. It doesn't just like stay in that form. As you can tell, this stretchy part is wide. And they are a little wider. So if you are using these, you would want to stay at your size, not go higher like the Adidas ones. But these are the blue ones. And they have the stretchy part too. And they are very comfortable to wear. My indoor shoes I wore, this was 2019, and I wore Adidas Predator. I wore Adidas Predators. These are what the bottoms look like, and the tops. They were really comfortable until they were like pretty comfortable, except for again they got really they weren't wide enough, basically, because as I was growing my feet got wider. So yeah.
So go to today.
So 2020 I wore these Adidas Predator Mutator shoes. These are what the tops look like and the bottoms. And they're the same thing as the Predator Adidas ones, but these are Mutators, and they have demon skin. And if you don't know what that is the little spikes on it. Now it does give you more grip. Now all of them, they all do on the inside go all the way here. Just the outside, some of them can go to the second line of the Adidas, some of them go to the 3, but this one goes to the first. But they normally go for the adult versions, these 2 lines, one of them, but
cut. Sit.
Okay, so all the shoes I'm about to show you are 2020, and the reason I'm showing you 2020 is because because there's 2021 shoes coming out, and you can get the 2020 shoes for cheaper. So the first brand we are going to be doing is Nike. So these are the top 2 Nike ones. These are the Junior Superfly 8 Pro. Here they are. And these are the Junior Phantom Vision 2 Academy. Here's what they look like. So the Girls Academy tip is that Girls Academy tip. You don't want to have a shoe just because of the color, because you don't want to be out there running around the field with a too loose or too tight shoe, because you're going to be having that for the rest of the year, and your parents probably aren't going to go buy another one for you. Okay, so there's 2 parts to having a good fitting shoe. One, you want to have a comfortable shoe. You don't want it to be too wide or too narrow. That would be like wearing a big shoe and trying to run. You're not going to be able to. Number 2, you want your heel to be locked in the heel cup. If you don't know what a heel cup is, this is what it looks like. And if you look at your heel, it looks the exact same as this, because they want to have it locked down so you're not sliding around. Okay, so let's compare them. So let's compare the cleat pattern. So on this one, as you can tell, on almost every single soccer shoe, they have studs. On this is one of the newest cleat patterns, and they have plates. Now Nike claims that these are supposed to be easier to do moves with. Now I really like this one that I've had for a year. I really like them because it still has these studs, so it's easier to run in and stuff, but it still has the plates just like this shoe does, but right here, so that I still have enough time, so I can still make moves. Now let's talk about breathability. So as you can tell, this has holes in it on the sides and on the top, both sides. Now this one it does not have any holes, so my feet would usually get really sweaty since there was no air holes while playing. Okay, so now let's talk about the material. So the material in here feels like it could be rubber, plastic. It doesn't really feel like a sock, which is what you want to have your shoes like. Now this one feels like literally one piece of paper. So as you can tell, I can easily bend it, and you want it to be bendable because it will feel just like a sock. And as you can tell, this one is hard at the bottom, and these aren't. Okay, so on this one, the laces are, I don't know what holds it with the, I don't know what holds the laces, but it's really hard. Put it down. But it's really hard to do it. I don't know what it is, but they're really hard to do that. Probably, I'm guessing when you put your foot in it, it's gonna be pretty hard to get your foot in and out. Now these, I really like them because, as you can see, I've been wearing laceless shoes, soccer shoes, for a while now. So I really like these because I found out that these weren't holding my shoes in place, my feet in place very much. So I really like this because it looks like I'm just wearing a regular laceless shoe, but underneath I actually have laces. So on the ones that I wore for a year, you can tell, so the durability, if you have white shoes, you probably want to get a magic marker. Hello, magic marker. There it is. So you probably want to keep your magic markers if you have white shoes. Okay, so now let's talk about the cleat durability. So as you can tell, put it down. As you can tell, there's nothing wrong with these because these are the new ones. And they got pretty beat up, and I've only been playing with these on turf. So that's pretty bad, but you can tell that it got grinded down and it got real dirty, and I haven't even played on the grass except for practice. So that's pretty insane. Okay guys, so now let's talk about the Adidas. The first thing we're going to talk about is 20 plus versus 20.1 on the Adidas shoes. So 20 plus means it's the best shoe that Adidas has made, and it's the top of the line. Now 20.1 means it's the second to best, really good. Now all the rest of them, so if you see like a 20.2, 20.3, any of those kind, those are third and fourth place and stuff like that. Kind of like if you were to do a race. So the lower lines are made of a cheaper material, so that means that they could be stiffer, that they are stiffer. So now let's go on to the top two Adidas X Predator mutators that I have. So the first one is X Ghosted Plus, and this is what it looks like. And here's the cleat. So the next one is the Predator Mutator 20.1. So this is the second to best, basically. And here's what these look like. As you can tell, they have demon skin on them, and if you don't know what that is, that's the spikes. They are made out of rubber. They are made out of rubber. And the last one I have is the Predator Mutator 20 Plus. So this is the top of the line, and this is what the bag looks like. And these are cool. So that's what they look like. And then there's one more, and this is the 20.1 Predator Mutator. And that's what that looks like. And yes, it has demon skin too. So let's look at these. We have one that's not demon skin, and we have two that's laceless and two that do have laces. So the 20 plus are the laceless versions, so these right here. And the 20.1s are the ones with the laces. So let's talk about laceless versus laces. So how they change. So let's talk about how they change fit. This one, since it does not have laces, it will have to fit your feet exactly right, or you're not going to be able to use these. If you have a narrow foot and it doesn't fit and you want to try and go up, it will be too big. Okay, so if the shoe is too narrow for you and you try and go a little wide, and you get the next size up because you do have wider feet, it's just going to be too loose on you. But if you do use the laces, aka 20.1s, you can go up a size and you can still wear them without it being big because they have laces and you can keep them tight and locked it down. So next let's talk about the cleat pattern. As you can tell, for the Predators, they all have the same kind of cleat. They all have the diamond in the middle. They all have the same kind of shape. Now, as for the X one, it's pretty cool. It's got an X, an arrow, I mean. And they're different shapes. It's like a bigger arrow on all of the sides. Similar to the Nike. So for the breathability, there's no breathability on any of these. Now you might get a little on this because it's a cut down low, but most likely there's 0 for all of them. Now let's talk about the material and the flexibility. So the material in here is like, it feels like plastic, movable plastic. And it's really thin. Like, look at this. You can literally see my hand inside of it. Okay, so as you can tell, these are really soft and they're very flexible. The only thing different is, well, the only thing kind of different is this one has a lot of hardness to it, but it does have some open spaces. For these, it's literally hard on the whole part of the boot. Okay, so let's talk about the demon skin. Now, as you can tell on the ones I wore for literally a year, they actually started to come off. I don't know if it's just the glue that was on it or they just started coming off from the durability, but that's what they look like. You can tell, you can see the little splotches where they should be. This is my right shoe, so I mean it kind of makes sense because I'm right-footed. But here's my left foot. There's still a couple missing on this side, as you can tell. So I'm not really good on my left foot, so as you can tell, they just started coming off. It's not because I'm right-footed and I like maybe kicked it too hard. So demon skin is these rubber spikes. As I told you, they're the spikes, but these are actually rubber. And they're supposed to help grip the ball when kicking it or passing it or shooting. So my problem with them is whenever I was using these shoes, they got a little too grippy, and sometimes I would stumble over the ball, not make a good pass, or I wouldn't be able to shoot that well because it was too grippy. But let's get a ball. So let's demonstrate. Okay, so let's first see what it's like with the Ghost X shoe. As you can tell, it just pushes and it pushes and it pushes. Great. Now, let's do the green ones. So this is the demon skin. So as you can tell, it goes up and down, and as you can tell, it just scooted. And it was very sticky. As you can tell, I'm trying to push really hard just to get it to move. So it does take some time to get used to it, but even though I was used to it, I was still sometimes stumbling over the ball. So a really good pro is that I had really good shots with these. Okay, well, we don't need this ball anymore. Okay guys, so I want you to comment down below, which one did you pick? Which one did you think I did? Okay, I picked this one. Okay, so now let's talk about the reason why I didn't pick these lovely 5. So let's take that one out since we already know I liked that one. So the reason so let's start with this one. So the reason I didn't pick this one was, okay, so I forgot to show you guys, but there's actually a pad in here. Can they see it? Right there. Okay, so let's get back on the main track. The reason I didn't pick this one was since I had to model your feet, it didn't for me. So I normally wear a 3 or a 3.5, and the 3 and 3.5 was way too small. So I tried the next size up, which is the 4, and it still didn't fit. So there was no way to tie it down, so that's why I couldn't do it, and it was too big. So since I didn't like this one, bye. Okay, so now let's talk about this one. This is exactly like this one, so we don't really need to talk about it because it's basically the same color. Bye. Okay, this one was way too hard to get on. It literally took like an hour almost. And I really didn't like how plastic it was and so thin. Now it's way too narrow for me because my feet are wide. So that's why I didn't pick it, so bye. Okay, well, I didn't pick this one because I've already had it and I kind of wanted to get a new shoe. But also they were starting to get too narrow for my feet. So, bye. Okay, so the last one was these, just like the Ghost X, was way too hard to get on just because the shoelace was so hard to get loose. Leo. And tightening the laces were still really hard. Like you can tell now mine's stuck. Boom. I tried, so this one was too narrow, so I went to the next size up, and then it felt great. Everything felt great except for the toe box. So the toe box got like so much material, and literally I got a big, good chunk of it, like this, basically. So now you know why I didn't need this one. So let's say bye. So now keep in mind, you're not gonna get all the great material as adults do. Like you can tell, there's Flyknit on here because it's see-through versus the kids textile, and you can tell because it's not see-through and it doesn't even feel like the adult ones. So just keep in mind, you're not gonna get all the great colors and all the great material as the adults do, but there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and comment down below if I should do more of these. Bye!
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super